Hello and welcome back to the Snakebite. For the first time ever, it's me talking and not Carl. We have a lot to get into, from women's lacrosse to the SSC Championships of women's golf. Let's get right into it. There is just no question about it. Number 2 women's lacrosse is the best team in the SSC. They face a stacked 3-game schedule this week against division opponents and conquered all of them. On Saturday, they traveled over to Winter Park to face the number 17 Rollins College Tars, and Jenna Vetter once again continued to show that she's in a league of her own with 4 goals, while Hannah Watson had a hat trick of her own. Defensively, the team played like this was the SSC Championship. No, the Division II Championship. 8 shots on goal was all the Tars had, and that was it. All 3 goalies saw action in this one as well. Great preparation for worst-case scenario possibilities in the playoffs. Additionally, defender Braden Kennelly scored her first goal of the season. On Tuesday, they were back in Lakeland to hunt the number 13 Panthers, and boy did they do just that to secure head coach Kara Eber's 300th career win and this season's undefeated at-home record. This time it was Watson scoring 4 goals and Riley Rivera with the hat trick, scoring all 3 in 3 minutes during the 4th quarter. And like Kennelly in that previous matchup, defender Charlie Lay scored her first of the season. The Mocs took home the decisive victory 14-8. The following day, they traveled all the way to West Palm Beach to spear the Sailfish of PBA, and they did just okay. No, I'm kidding. They decimated PBA, turning on the running clock to take it 16-4. Vetter's first goal of the game marked the 100th of her career, and Charlie Lay achieved her 100th ground ball. The Mocs spread the wealth. 10 different ladies scored goals to show their prowess and depth to take the regular season title. With the win, they remained perfect in conference play for the 2nd time in program history, and their chase of the conference crown will continue Thursday at home. Stay tuned to FSCMocs.com for the Mocs' next victim.
Men's lacrosse is taking a note from the ladies as they stayed perfect at home in Sunshine State Conference play. They started off the week against long-term rival Rollins College, who they sank for the first time since 2022. In the game against the number 17 team in the country, Maddox Walton and Nolan Tithe found hat tricks, it being the first of Tithe's senior season, with 6 others pairing 1 more goal to the tally where every single one was necessary. The Mocs regained the lead in the 4th quarter and never let it go. The Tars, though, they tried to fight back at Behrend, scaring the Mocs a bit as they scored back-to-back goals with 5 minutes to go. But after that, the Mocs stood tall and stood on business. The key play, with the Mocs leading by 1, was another huge save by 𝙏𝙃𝙀 𝙎𝙉𝘼, who has been superhuman in goal for Florida Southern. And after that, the Mocs had to continue to battle. It started off at the end of that 4th quarter when the Mocs had 1 more defensive chance they had to hold on to, and they forced a turnover right when they needed it. Then they had to play Embry-Riddle, a receiving votes team coming home to Lakeland. The Mocs won in the first 4 times they played, but in the last 2 matchups, lost by 1 in each. So a little bit of deja vu for these 2 teams as Florida Southern ended up picking the win by 1. It came easy in the first half as the Mocs found goals in bunches with 7 compared to just a handful for the Eagles. Then in the second half, we saw the Eagles soaring, flying, until Secretti came crashing down once again and ended that run. We saw contributions from Maddox Walton, Jake Chiz, as many others contributing as well for Florida Southern in a game that secured their undefeated SSC home record. They'll be hosting a playoff game after missing it last year, as they will be the number 4 seed in this year's tournament. They'll be back in action Saturday. So make sure to stay glued to your TV, because they'll be playing their rivals Rollins College one more time.
The SSC Championships have concluded for the number 12 women's golf team in Division II, and they placed 7th out of 10 teams. In this one, the top Moc was 𝙏𝙀𝙀 𝙎𝙉𝘼𝙆𝙀, who posted 11 over par in the 3 rounds. Additionally, just behind her was Ava LaBelle, who carded 8 total birdies in the tournament and shot 15 over par. In other results, Nova Southeastern was the champion of this one, and they were just 1 stroke better than Lynn University.
The SSC Championships have come to a close for the Sandy Mocs as they started off against Eckerd College, followed up against St. Leo, but could not find that regular season success. In the first one, the Mocs tried to battle early, and like most of the matches we've seen between them and Eckerd, it was an absolute battle. The Mocs found some early wins, but ultimately found themselves even before Eckerd turned the corner to win the first matchup of the tournament for both teams. Then the Mocs made their way to the losers bracket, where they took on St. Leo and suffered the same fate. Another 3-2 loss to an in-conference opponent. The Mocs, though, are not done yet. They have a little bit of season left as they will head to the AVCA Small College Beach Volleyball Championships starting today. Remember last year, they made a good run in that bracket, and they will have a chance to match up against some Sunshine State Conference foes there. I know Tampa's making the trip over, and it is always nice to try to compete with one of the top teams in the country. The Mocs have got a lot of work to do as they continue to improve in the tail end of the season.
The Mocs baseball team hosted a series against St. Leo this weekend in which Game 1 they posted a dizzying 17 runs. The Mocs rode the back of 𝙏𝙃𝙀 𝙎𝙉𝘼𝙆𝙀, who threw 6 innings with 4 hits, 5 runs earned, and struck out 2. 9 different players were able to get hits in this one, with 6 of those players having a multi-hit game. Game 2 was a very different story for the Mocs as they lost by a close final score of 8-7. Contributions from each player aided in making this one a close affair with 7 hits from 7 different players. Ty Bradle started this game for the Mocs and had a solid outing of 5 innings pitched and only 4 earned runs. And then in Game 3, the Mocs suffered another defeat, falling 6-13. They'll continue their tour of SSC opponents, and they will go on the road to face PBA tonight and in a doubleheader tomorrow.
This past week, the Mocs took on the South Florida Invitational with 8 different of the Moccasin men in action, ranging from the 10K all the way down to the 800, and the ladies stayed busy too. We have to start it off with the freshman phenom, the Viera product, almost state champion. He just missed out by a year in high school, Jack Gerard. 14.55 for him as he continues to climb the freshman record books here at Florida Southern. He will be one of the key contributors to the repeat chances at Florida Southern. Despite some injuries, the Mocs still going for that conference championship on the men's side. Helping out with that will be Parker Graham in his first real debut in the steeplechase. He was the leader for the Mocs as he got the second fastest time this season in his freshman campaign. 9:39 for it, just a few seconds off of that freshman record held by Caleb Brady of 9:36. Then, of course, we saw Andrew Nyland, who has become very familiar for Moccasin track fans, whether it's the 1500 or 800. He has continued to excel, running 1:52.46 to add to his incredible outdoor season. Michael Topi also found a way to contribute in the 1500, running 3:55, and he actually just ran during our production time as the second mock in the 10K, running 30:48 over in California. For the ladies, we saw Nika Givning continue to shine, running a 2:16.96.02, faster than her previous school record, and now she's the only mock to run under 2:17 once and twice in program history. Of course, both teams will be taking on the Brian Clay Invitational right now. We saw Cole Summers try to chase that sub-30 10K once more. Just couldn't get the finishing kick at the end. He was the top mock in that one, below 30 minutes and 15 seconds, so still the top guy in the Sunshine State Conference. Like I mentioned, Michael Topi, 30:48 for that, and then Eli Zupa was trailing behind a bit. Christopher Colavita will be taking on the 5K tomorrow, as well as Emma Pfeiffer, Grace Reed, Rachel Hockenberry, and Reagan Chambliss taking on the 5K as well in what will be an action-packed weekend for Florida Southern track and field.
Mock softball suffered defeat against the number 2 ranked St. Leo Lions, now ranked number 1 for the first time in program history. In Game 1, the Mocs had hits from Gabby Young, Hannah Lewis, Nene de Jesus, and Emma Lucchese, but ultimately lost 10-2. In Game 2, it was a very close affair, 3-1 heading into the 6th inning, and St. Leo came back, scoring 3 in the 6th to ice it 4-3. Then in Game 3, it featured a shutout game from the Lions. 3-0 was the final score in that one, and that was the end of the week for this team. They will go on to face PBA now, and that will be tomorrow at home for Alumni Weekend. And that is all that we have for this one. Men's tennis fell 7-0 to the number 2 ranked Barry University Buccaneers. And they're playing at the time of this filming, as well as the women's tennis team. And Carl, we were just talking about Colby Cohen before this filming.
Yeah, the ladies have been killing it at Florida Southern. Colby Cohen, 100 draw controls already this year and counting, the 4th player in program history. And Sydney Gomes has been excellent on the court, but also off the court, as she has won all academic All-American honors for Florida Southern, the first time in over half a decade. But that does it for this week's edition of the Snakebite. Thank you so much for tuning in, and can't wait to see you next time.